more can I say?
Top Billin. All right, gang, update on what's going on with your boy Jersey Murf. Obviously, we had the coastal storms out here in Jersey. A tree split, knocked down the power lines, knocked down the internet lines, damaged the car in the driveway, right? Really tore that bad boy up. But, man, we move on, we trek on. The power is not back on. Unfortunately, the internet won't be back on until possibly tomorrow when the cable company can come out here and get that done, or whatever Xfinity calls itself these days. But power on, much love as always to my friends Adrian and Kelly. I'm in the Kelly Green Bat Cave at their house working and doing what we do here. We usually catch the games here, but they allowed me to come take my setup from my crib over here and get it in, right? And get it in, I couldn't wait. You know why? Still adamant that anything can happen. Listen, 10-4, not the 10-4 that you would hope to be, but in any other year, people who are 10-4 get celebrated. When you're Philly and nobody likes you, it is what it is. Great game by the Seattle Seahawks. Great game by the Philadelphia Eagles as well. Let's not pretend like Philadelphia wasn't winning this game 99% of the game. What we need to do is execute. I don't know many times I got to tell you guys that you can call whatever. You can have whomever calling the plays and all this and that. You still have to fucking execute. What is going on right here? The run game. Both running the ball and stopping the run has gotten much worse as the season has progressed. You'll see them here with this inside zone. Slick way of doing it there. They're running that out of 12 personnel. I actually love this set from Seattle when they jump into this right here. This is some really good shit to be able to run your 12 personnel there. But what you don't want to have happen is for people, especially a guy like Brandon Graham, to lose contain, right? We seen him do this a couple of games ago. You have to know your audience, right? Your audience is Kenneth Walker. His attention span is mostly going to lead him to always bouncing something to the outside. That's what he does. Got to have that discipline to stay home, not get pushed too far inside by Noah Fant here, and you're probably cool in the game. Check this out right here. Inside zone, look at BG get way too far inside. You have to trust that all gaps is covered. Look at your man Shaq Leonard here. He read this to perfection. Smoke that gap right there. All gaps are covered, even though you can see right here that there's a little bit of creases going there, but everything is covered, man. There's nowhere for him to go right here. This is the only place he could get back to. And look, BG, our guy, right? Uncle BG right here with that uncle strength, great uncle strength right there, gets pushed too far inside. And then you got Sidney Brown. Listen, my man Sidney Brown, I know a lot of people like him. I think he's very talented there, but he's feast or famine. His tackling is sometimes absolutely horrific. He doesn't bring it. He doesn't break down in space well enough, and you can't just be blowing people up or bowling people over in the NFL. Look at that, man. They did a great job of flanking out right there. Sidney Brown, of course, BG lost contain. Sidney Brown over there whiffing in open space there. You can't be having that, man. You just can't. It's about the little things. If we can clean up the little things, get back to basics and fundamentals, come on. We would take a game like that. Winning that game last night and then potentially beating the Giants a couple of times and the Cardinals, you will off 4 straight or whatever like that, and then you just never know. You could get hot like the Phillies in the playoffs. What the Phillies, man? Anybody who watch baseball out there, the Phillies usually get hot towards the end, and then they're the one in the end, right? Maybe not all the way in the World Series, but you get what I'm saying. Here we go once again. I said in the preview, Kenneth Walker, one of the top 5 backs in the NFL. There's no doubt about that. He is extremely slippery. But if you're Sidney Brown, you have to break down in space, man. That's the thing with him. I don't think people understand what I'm talking about when I'm talking about breaking down in space. You can't just run full speed at people with your head down, right, and then think you're going to tackle them. Somebody like him, you want to come meet him in a 50-50 exchange situation with your head up, and then you want to react, wrap, and roll. Can't be putting your head down. That's just poor tackling technique by the kid here. Now, we saw that in the preseason. I did the feast or famine thing. I'm like, man, he's missing a bunch of tackles. He's making some, too. He's a splash play guy here. Can't cover that well, especially if we're talking about covering inside receivers. But this time we saw him kind of creep up with the coverage on the back end. Now, keep in mind, he's a rookie. We're deep in the season, though. He's a rookie, and this is what you're having to deal with if you're a guy like Sean Desai or even a guy like Matt Patricia, right? They're playing guys who probably should not be playing at this particular point in time because those are the cards you're dealt with. But there are no excuses. If you're out there, man, and you're on the Philadelphia Eagles, it does not matter. Now, I want to see how did they get to this particular play right here. This could have been a really bad right here. This was not on anything dealing with anyone else. This was good pass protection and everything there. It's just Drew Lock here missing it. That's it. Let me see right here. Because it looked like we were running a split safety set. How do you go from a split safety set to getting Tyler Lockett, right, going to the post against Keely Ringo right here? Absolutely smoked Ringo. However, Drew Lock missed it. But how did he get behind the safeties here? What is Byatt doing? Byatt's still in his pedal. And there is, I don't understand this right there. Byatt's still in his pedal. You got to be deepest of the deep. To me, that's a miscommunication right there. This could have been really bad. I see right here, Byatt working on the inside. So if you're running like this looks like too deep man under. It's either too deep man under or, I would say it's too deep man under. It's definitely not a cover two because you can see these guys turning and running with their outside assignments here. Maybe Shaq Leonard here getting a little bit more depth on the inside would allow for Kevin Byatt to stay bowled out, just like Reed Blankenship is. Reed Blankenship will help over the top with this on DK Metcalf. But, we have to clean up little things like that. That's the little things right here. Look at that. Look at that. That's that early pandemic separation and everything. But Drew Lock, I don't know what he was throwing into. He throws it damn near outside the numbers. Right? He did throw it outside the numbers on a post route. That's nothing of anyone's doing except Drew Lock there. But that's what I'm talking about. Clean up the little shit. Now, people don't want to admit this, but the rushing defense has gone down, in my opinion, since Nakobe Dean went down. He is a much better run defender than a Nicholas Morrow. Remember, I had that film. This is all shit I'm pointing out on film study, so don't forget that. I'm pointing this shit out on film study. I showed it. Nicholas Morrow not good with his run fits. Why Shaq has to work the take-on role, right? You got the take-on guy, your field guy right here, bang. He's filling right here with Damian Lewis. Morrow needs to work that gap, right? He comes in right behind him. You need to work that gap. He overplays it. Look at that. Overplays it, gets himself out of the play. What did I say? Gapsonance. You never be in another man's gap. You don't need to be where Shaq Leonard is at. You need to stand your ground 50-50. If anything, Will Dissly peels off right here. You're back working with Dissly and standing him up. And then you have that outside contained right there, hopefully, by Shaq Leonard and Hassan Reddick. Gets too far out. And look at that. Easy peasy. We can't be having that shit, man. This is the Philadelphia Eagles, baby. What are we doing? If anything that should be working, it should be that front. That offensive line and that defensive line should be able to, at the very least, get us by when we're struggling on the back end to where it can be at least a promising contest, right? But when it's having shit like this go this way, it's an untenable situation, man. All right, anytime we see Uncle Fletcher, Uncle BG doing work, I have to point it out, man. I'm already sad thinking about these guys not being on the team, man, after watching them their entire careers here. But watch Uncle BG right here. I love him working next to Fletcher Cox on the inside at like a 5 technique. I wonder if Brandon Graham could transition to like a 5 or 3 technique later on in his career and extend it. Because look at this. He does good work against Bradford. Oh, Bradford got beat bad. That was absolutely terrible. Look at this. BG hit him with the high-low, right? He high-lowed him. Went up high, and as soon as he starts to engage, you fight that and then dip it on him, right? Dip it on him. Look at it. He had that man tooting it up, right? Pause. Your man heavy-legged waist bending on his toes, right? Heavy-legged waist bending on his toes. My man split the difference right there. You trying to grab BG with one arm, this shit ain't gonna work, bro. BG clears that right there, pushes Drew Lock up into the pocket where Uncle BG is doing the damn thing right here by doing what? Standing in that 50-50 exchange situation right here, making it to where the pocket there is nowhere for him to step up to, right? You get what I'm saying there? Then he can just disengage when it's time, just like this. Absolutely perfect. And then him and BG ends up both on lock. Boom, right there. Take a picture of that because, man, I don't know how many more years we have left of BG, Uncle BG, and Uncle Fletch playing for these damn birds, man. Love these dudes. Now, listen, don't take it as me picking on Sidney Brown. I'm covering football, right? This is constructive criticism for my man to get better in the future. It's not an indictment on what he will be, but it is showing you what he is right now as a rookie. So breaking down in space, like I said before, he missed so many tackles last night. Look at that. Your man getting slung off by Kenneth Walker here, right? Like I said before, he's a tough cat to tackle, no doubt about that. But there's still ways to be able to corral him right there. And you can't be going up too high. Look at him. This time he has his head up. This is what I mean about breaking down in space. This is definitely how you break down in space. Head up there. Keep it in a 50-50 exchange situation. But then what does he do? Goes way too high. Way too high. That's not your leverage point. Your leverage point is going to be around the waist. Around the waist, maybe up under the buttocks, pause, but definitely not high like that where a guy who has a strong lower half, pause, like Kenneth Walker there, could just fertilize your ass, right? Bang, made him touch earth, and then got around that right there. Down goes Hassan Reddick. Down goes South Jersey. We're all down out here in South Jersey right there. But come on, man. Your man has to get better at tackling in space. Listen, rookie on rookie crime right here. Your man Anthony Bradford, he was pretty much community pussy. But you going against the great Jalen Carter right here, man. My God, watch this. Bang, burp the baby. Get vert on him. Drew Lock didn't have time to do anything, right, except throw some flimsy shit up, right, hoping it'll stick. Threw out some bullshit and was hoping it would stick right there. But damn, look at the move. That's like Jalen's signature move right there, to burp the baby. Look at that. You want to center him up. Sell no tail right here. Get him heavy-legged waist bending again. This time he's extra high with it. Look at that. He's damn near standing straight up. He's standing tall and talented, right? Come on. He looking like Matumbo and shit right there, all tall and stiff. But bang, right on that 7. Burped him, right? All cleared up all that colic or whatever that shit is that be in them babies' lungs and shit like that. Burped him and then get vert. Kenneth Walker couldn't even get a hand on him. That's that insane quickness right there mixed with that power and everything. Hell of a rep by Jalen Carter. Now look at this. 1st and 10. You are in plus territory. You have 8 minutes and 16 seconds to go. There is really no reason to try to be this aggressive. And if you are going to be this aggressive, what do I always say? Know your damn personnel. Why is Quez Watkins even in the game? Where's Olamide Zaccheaus? Right? I believe if this particular throw happens with Olamide Zaccheaus in the game, front-facing play-action fake right here, you got Hurts with the half moon drawn, right? So he can do whatever he wants right here. There is nothing there but airspace and opportunity for him to step up in the pocket, find someone else or anything like that. But this is a shot play going against that split safety look. He cocks and fires. And look at this right here. Hell of a play by Julian Love, right? That's the kind of safety you want in these schemes that the Eagles and the Seahawks both play. He may not be a good coverage safety, man-on-man cover, but he's better than most safeties, right? Because he does have that background. Look at him. Straight up play Quez Watkins. Look at this. Close the distance. We saw Reed Blankenship do this in the Commanders game. Close the distance. And what do you want to do? As soon as you close the distance, you get into there, locate. Once you touch him, you immediately start to locate and look and track where he's tracking at. Right now, so I already know what people are going to say. The tug of the jersey right here. No excuses from me, right? If they called it, cool. If not, I don't think this impedes anything right here. Quez Watkins just soft. At the very least, if this is A.J. Brown, Olamide Zaccheaus, or Devontae Thin Diesel Smith, they're going back to get this ball. They're not going to just get punked out like that, right? You let a man out-leverage you, get in front of you, and you don't go up and knock the ball out. You just put the hand out and touch him on the back of his neck, caressing his neck and his head. Come on, man. What are we doing here in life? Quez Watkins? The fuck is he doing in the goddamn game? I'm tired of Quez Watkins. I said that in the preseason. Why is Quez Watkins out there? Quez Watkins over Olamide Zaccheaus? Think about some of these catches Olamide Zaccheaus has made in the little bit of time that he does get, right? You brought in Julio Jones or whatever like that. That looked like it was unnecessary. Olamide Zaccheaus should be out there, or you need to rearrange it to where that is Devontae Smith. He's not going to let his quarterback get punked like that, right? With a man with some inside leverage. We know A.J. Brown's going to block that. He'll offensive pass interference or whatever it takes for that not to be the case. That's the only thing that you did not want to have happen, and it happened. It could have just been a batted down pass and you go back on second down and you eat up clock and drive down and score that way. Get the fuck out of here, man. Listen, I had to deviate right there. I wanted to focus on the defense here because I want to do the offense with the all-22. I want to put the onus on one Nick Sirianni. Coach Siri, if you're an offensive-minded head coach, your offense should not be struggling. Your quarterback should not be struggling. The blame does not go on Coach Johnson. I'm sorry. You're an offensive-minded head coach who was once an OC himself. So think about that. If anybody else was in this position, they would not be putting the blame on anyone else. There would not be any blame placed on anyone else. When Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay have quarterback issues or if offensive issues, the onus falls on them. I want Coach Sirianni to be that type of coach if he is that guy. If not, then he's frauding, right? He's fraudulent. You know what I mean? I'm not the biggest Coach Sirianni fan. To me, he looks more like a motivator type coach. He might be like an Urban Meyer type. I don't think he's an X's and O's guy. If so, take the play calling away from Brian Johnson, put the onus on yourself, and lead your team to a Super Bowl. Can he do that? I want someone to answer that question. Can Coach Sirianni do that? Is he that type of coach? Because if not, you can have any type of figurehead coach in there with the type of talent that the Philadelphia Eagles have and will off 10, 11, 12, 13 wins. The fuck out of here. You can't be serious. And all the people who was getting on Coach Peterson and shit like that, what's the difference? What's the difference? If you want to give Frank Reich all the credit, Shane Steichen need to get all the credit for Coach Sirianni. Like, come on. If so, man, hire a damn head coach like a Mike McDaniel type to where that shit fails with Tua Tagovailoa, he takes the blame. I don't like this pass the buck shit. So, well, listen, last one right here. People talking about being aggressive and playing man coverage. You see James Bradbury right here against DK Metcalf. And DK Metcalf not the best route runner in the world, but look at the type of early pandemic separation he's getting right here, right? Dr. Fauci would even say that might be a little too much social distancing. Bradbury is not a man cover guy. He can't even cover DK Metcalf in man coverage with transitions. That's an incredible amount of separation right there in social distancing from DK Metcalf, right? That's not his thing at all, right? He'll get vert on you and separate there, but even right here, look at him basket catching, right? Some clown tried to come in here and say that man had a better game than excuse me about that. A lot of shit going on around here. He had a better game than A.J. Brown and tried to make it seem like these catches that he had in his final drive make it to where he's better than A.J. Brown. You have to be absolutely stone cold retarded to ever believe some shit like that. A.J. Brown's better in every facet of the game. Maybe he's not had the vertical speed of a DK Metcalf, but it doesn't matter. He separates vertically as well. Better hands. Better at catching in traffic and high point the ball with the best of them. Can also do the same shit DK does after the catch, run after the catch, and is a flat-out animal as well as far as the physicality and all that shit goes. Stop it, man. Just stop it. Listen, man, I don't talk just to talk, man. I know this game. And I study personnel and personnel techniques, the nuances of the game. What do I say? Shuffle, back to the sideline is James Bradbury's deal. He does not need to be in man coverage, off man coverage, coming out of a pedal and then trying to run with DK Metcalf. Look at that. He's already done. That's way too much cushion right there. He can't run. DK Metcalf can run if it's any semblance of a good throw, right? This wasn't even that good a throw. This shit was underthrown. I don't know. I know why he's pointing that out. It was underthrown. He had to go up and get it, and he still couldn't get there, right? Sidney Brown unable to arrive in time as well. But James Bradbury, not competitive. Right? You're going to put this man in. You can't run those schemes you think you can run with certain personnel. I don't give a fuck what Matt Patricia or you guys think Matt Patricia can do. They're running that Sean Desai scheme for a reason. That's the personnel fits that. A guy like James Bradbury fits that. The younger guys, maybe they could fit something different there, but they're not going to be as impactful. They're young dudes, right? They can be had, right? They can be had. James Bradbury, you wouldn't think could be had. This is just a failure in identification of your personnel, right? You can see right here, Eli Ricks, he's right to the boundary here, right? He's a little bit closer, right? More close quarters coverage on Tyler Lockett right there, even though himself right there was beat. If Drew Lock would want to go right here, he would have been good as well, right? But Sidney Brown here. Sidney Brown, way they rolled, I don't like this, right? So this looks like, man, it's almost like cover one. If you're going to roll the safety like this is almost like cover run because you have Reed Blankenship who's going to then have to take the backfield. You're just leaving the middle of the field open. Sidney Brown has to first work with that. Drew Lock did a good job of leading him astray with his eyes there. Then he has to try to work back with James Bradbury getting his ass tucked like a looter in a riot. He is unable to get over there, man. Come on. This is just some bad scheming around, man. Something's got to shake loose. And I expect that to happen. Listen, 10-4, like I said before, 10-4, a lot of teams would love to be 10-4. You don't think Seattle would love to be 10-4? Right? We suck, but notice how everybody always runs to this channel talking about, the Eagles lost and all this and that. Well, if we suck, then shouldn't it be old hat? Why are you talking about it? Why are you so excited about the Eagles losing if they suck? That's because nobody actually thinks they suck, right? Everybody's happy to beat the Eagles because it's their Super Bowl. We get everyone's best shot. Everyone's best shot, and we're giving everyone our worst shot. Think about that. This game was definitely winnable. You was winning the shit 95, probably longer than that, 95% of the game. You were winning it until you weren't. A shake here, a shake there, this is your game. Then you go on to probably beat the Giants a couple of times and beat the Cardinals, right? You end on a 4-game winning streak. You end with 14 wins, then who's talking? Right? Even 13 wins, who should be talking? Because if any other team is 13-4, people are good about it. The San Francisco 49ers, didn't they lose 3 in a row as well? It is what it is, man. So got to get it together. San Fran was able to get it together regardless if they were missing a player or two. We're missing players as well. So I don't want to hit those type of excuses. We're missing important players. To me, to point that out would be an excuse. So I don't make excuses in football. I don't make excuses in life in general. So the players who are there need to play better. The coaches who are coaching need to coach better. That's simple. Need better execution. All right? But let me know, fam, right? Your boy's still going to be rocking and rolling. It's to the day that I die, man. The lineman today told me, right, the guy working on the power lines, I came out in my Eagles gear and shit. He was like, oh, man, you wear that? Despite your team sucking or something like that, you still gonna rep them or something like that? I was like, man, it's to the death of me. What you talking about? I've been supporting this shit since I was a little kid who never stopped over a win or a loss or anything like that. You can go 25 straight losing seasons. I'm still rocking with it. So let's get it, all right? Your boy Jersey Murf as always. Much love to South Jersey. Much love to the entire Philly, Delaware, Elkton, Maryland. Stand up. Peace.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.